Hey, Sully, how are you this morning?
Pretty good, man. You got your Diet Cokes in? You ready to rock?
I'm ready to go,
Before we get started, where would you put yourself in the South Jersey sports media draft?
Boy, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I'd say you'd have to be in the top 5, I would guess. Maybe top 3.
I'll take that. I'll take that as a compliment, But if that's the case, I'm holding out for more money. So maybe
signability might be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Signability
will be an issue with me.
You might drop to 6 or 7 if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There you go.
So, Mike, ton going on right now in high school baseball. It's really starting to heat up as we get ready to turn the calendar over to May. Your thoughts on this week? I was out there at Atlantic City yesterday, and Jordan Sweeney of Egg Harbor Township, sophomore, had about as good a day as you can have in baseball. Threw a no-hitter, 3 hits, 2 homers, grand slam, 7 RBIs. I mean, that's a season for some guys.
Yeah, you said it, and he had a game like that when Egg Harbor Township played in Myrtle Beach over the break. I think he had a game where he was the winning pitcher, struck out 10 down there, and hit a grand slam. So there's a kid who, as you mentioned, is a sophomore, kind of really emerging as one of the top players in South Jersey this year, and it's really exciting to see what he's able to do. Last night I was out at Vineland, watching Vineland and Millville, 2 old rivals, play, and their quarterback, Isaiah Pacheco, quarterback the football team, Division I football prospect, played baseball as a freshman, took off last year to kind of lift weights and concentrate on football. He missed the game of baseball. I think his teammates, said, hey, why don't you come on back out? Why don't you help us? And he hits a big triple to tie the game in the bottom of the 6th and then scores the winning run on a sacrifice fly. And Vineland at 10-2, undefeated in that Cape Atlantic League American Division right now, really one of the surprises of the early baseball season as we get to about, the halfway point right now.
What position is he playing?
He plays the outfield, and, obviously, I think he's batting over 500. The funny thing, he says he missed hitting home runs. I don't think he's hit a home run yet, but he had to settle for a triple. Really got a pitch out and over the plate, drove it to the center field wall to knock in the tying run. And, you saw his speed, really motored around the bases, got in the third, and then scored on a sacrifice fly. Like you said, it's a huge week coming up. The cutoff for the Joe Hartman Diamond Classic is next Saturday. You've got a big event out at Millville today, the Coaches versus Cancer thing that they run today and tomorrow with some great games. I think Millville plays Holy Spirit today. Tomorrow you've got St. Augustine against #1 Gloucester Catholic out at Millville at 1:30. And then you've got a huge week of Cape Atlantic League baseball games that ends with a doubleheader or a back-to-back on Thursday and Friday with Vineland playing at St. Augustine on Thursday and St. Augustine playing at Vineland on Friday night. So just a huge 8-9 days of baseball leading up to the Joe Hartman Diamond Classic cutoff next Saturday.
Yeah, Mike, it was kind of funny. I was talking to EHC coach Brian Carmichael after the game, and I said, because they had played Vineland on Thursday, I said, hey, can this Pacheco kid play baseball? And he's like, yeah, he can play.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably one of the better athletes, one of the top athletes in the Cape Atlantic League. He's numerous schools, Maryland, Rutgers have offered him a Division I college football scholarship. Vineland kind of had that resurgence on the football field in the fall, and now the baseball team is doing it on the field in the spring, and Pacheco's been a big part of both successes.
That's got to be a little surprising to you because Vineland, they've always been competitive, but had kind of a couple of average years here before this year, and all of a sudden now they're 10-2.
Vineland's a baseball town, so there's a passion for the game in Vineland, and Coach John Malatesta is doing a great job out there. In this group, there's a lot of seniors. This is a senior-dominated team. Not only Pacheco, but I was impressed with catcher Sean Vasquez last night. He hit a double and also threw out a Millville a player trying to steal second base to end the game. Jojo Rodriguez, the starting pitcher last night, did a solid job. So this is a Vineland team that has a lot of seniors. They play as sophomores. I think I wrote in a story I did today for the game on pressofac.com. I think they were 6. I think they won only 6 or 7 games as sophomores. Last year they were 13-12, but they're kind of reaping the benefits of that experience of being on the field for 2 years, and right now they're 10-2. They've got a pair of wins over Egg Harbor Township and a win over Millville. And they're 7-0 in the CAL American Division right now, and leading that division.
Yeah, the Cal races have really become pretty interesting. I mean, you look at that Cal National, and Mainland's kind of established itself a little bit, but they're going to face some tough competition from teams like Ocean City. Even Oakcrest has gotten hot here in the last week and a half or so. And then you look at that Cal United, and big game coming up soon between Holy Spirit and St. Joe. The rematch looks like a two-team race in that conference. So got a lot yet to be decided in Cape Atlantic League baseball.
Yeah, that's what happens in the spring season. I think I was looking at the schedule of some teams this season. I think I was looking at Millville's schedule. I think Millville plays Holy Spirit. They might play tomorrow. They might play St. Augustine on Monday. Then I think they've got EHT on Tuesday, somebody else on Wednesday. It seems like, you get into the spring season, especially now after we've got a few days of rain. The beginning of this week was pretty much a washout for a lot of teams. You can get into a situation where teams are playing big games, every day. And as a result, your kind of outlook on the league or your outlook on who's hot, who's not, who's a team to watch, changes, can change from a Monday to Tuesday in the blink of an eye.
Talking with Mike McGarry of the Press of Atlantic City. Mike, let's turn our attention here to track a little bit. And this Egg Harbor Township 4x8 relay team, they might end up being one of the best relays in South Jersey history. I mean, when you look at what they've been doing last year, this year in the indoor, and now they're in the Championship of America race at the Penn Relays. Really, they found an incredible combination there with the DeSoy brothers and Hendricks and Barnes.
Yeah, I mean, a great story, and I'll be headed up to the Penn Relays in a little bit today. They race at 4 o'clock in the Championship of America race, the 4x800 relay up there. They qualified yesterday with, it was 7:48, and I think just it's worth putting in perspective. Just how big a deal, it is to qualify for a Championship of America race for the Penn Relays, especially in something like the 4x8. Unlike the 4x1 or the 4x4 relay, your local high school just can't enter a team in the Penn Relays and go up there and run a heat. You have to earn an invite to run at the Penn Relays in the 4x8. Based on your past performance. And you mentioned that, Egg Harbor Township, won the indoor national championship in March up at the Armory in New York, a really great achievement for them. So they were one of, about 65, 66 teams that ran in 4 heats yesterday. So just getting to that point is tremendous. Just getting an opportunity to run in one of those heats is just a tremendous achievement. Then they go out yesterday and they run one of the 12 fastest times. It was one of the DeSoy brothers, I believe it was Alex, ran a 1:55 800 leg, which is if you're not a track enthusiast, that's really just a tremendous performance by him. Really kind of sparked EHT to run one of the 12 fastest times to qualify for the Championship of America. So it's a tremendous achievement to get just to run one of those heats. It's even a bigger achievement to be one of the 12 teams that gets to the Championship of America final. And all you have to know, there are 6 teams from Jamaica in the 12 teams, and Egg Harbor Township and St. Benedict's Prep of Newark are the only 2 New Jersey teams in the field. So regardless of what happens today, the fact that Egg Harbor Township will toe the starting line at 4 o'clock today at the Penn Relays in the 4x8 Championship of America race is a tremendous, tremendous achievement. And they will be competitive in the race. They have an opportunity, their time of 7:48, they can go a little faster. Coach Ryan Smith, in the story I did today, mentioned that, DeSoy's leg put Aiden Hendricks and Eric Barnes in a position where they didn't have to run their fastest. They were able to conserve some energy for today's final. So it'll be interesting to see, what kind of time they can run, up there at Penn today. The Jamaican teams are going to be tough to beat, but, Egg Harbor Township, certainly has, as Coach Ryan Smith said, the tools to be in the mix today. So we'll see what happens when we go up there for the Penn Relays to Franklin Field today. Yeah,
that's awesome. Have you thought at all about where they stand historically? I mean, I know there's been some pretty good relays out of Pleasantville, and, I'm not as familiar as you are with the history of track around here.
Right. Well, you look at two. I mean, the press area, as we refer to, kind of Atlantic, Cape May, Cumberland, Southern Ocean County. This is the 123rd running of the Penn Relays, and only two high school teams have won Championship of America races. That's a 2007 Southern Regional girls distance medley team, and the 2013 Pleasantville boys 4x8 team with the Clark twins won this Championship of America race at Egg Harbor Township. Competes in today in 2013. And I think a violent 4x4 team. I want to say 2008, 2009 was able to make the Championship of America race there. So you make the Championship of America race at the Penn Relays. You're up there with the. You could be mentioned with the best relay teams to ever run in the Cape Atlantic League. And
another South Jersey guy, Mike, at a Delsey Regional, he was a pretty good football player, but now he's really turned into a track star at South Carolina, is Josh Awatunde, graduated a couple years ago from Delsey, and he's become one of the best shot putters in the nation. And who knows, maybe he can be a guy that competes for an Olympic berth in a couple years.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's another great thing about the Penn Relays is, you get all levels of track and field there. It's kind of like if you went to the Super Bowl, and before the Super Bowl they played, the college football championship game, and then they played, the best high school players in America played, first, because you see all three levels, high school, college, and Olympians out there, especially on today, the final day of the meet, when you have the USA versus the world relay races and everything else. So that's the great thing about that event is you get to see, you said what happened to that guy who ran for Delsey or threw for Delsey, or what happened to that girl who ran there? Oh, there she is now running for Oregon or throwing for South Carolina or something like that. So it's really a great 3-day meet, and really one of the unique events, sporting events I've ever been to.
And one of the cool things, Mike, in track that we're going to see here in the next couple of weeks is we're going to get a chance to see Sydney McLaughlin, the Olympian. She's a senior, I guess, now at Union Catholic, and it's kind of neat to see these high school kids compete against her, knowing she was in the Olympics last summer.
Right, and she's just if you follow what she's done up at Penn, she's just had run two electrifying legs up at Penn for Union Catholic, and that's again, that's it. She's going to be at the Meet of Champions, which is we start to get into the individual part of the season right now. Maybe even compete. I don't know where non-public A is, if they're at Northern Burlington or they're at Egg Harbor Township. But if you've got a few seconds and you want to see a future Olympian, in the next couple of weeks, you can certainly go out and rather than wait, to see one on your TV in a couple of years, you can go to a local track and see Sydney McLaughlin run, and that's a tremendous thing.
Awesome stuff, Mike. We appreciate it as always. Let you get going and have fun at the Penn Relays today.
All right, thanks, Sully. Anytime.
All right, man. Have a good weekend, buddy.
You too.
That was Mike McGarry, the press of Atlantic City.